Barry B.
Coming up, I see whether I'm tough enough to survive the barbaric Supermax, meet fully tooled up inmates, and get right up close to the men on death row.
You got a death sentence, is it?
Yeah.
Death by hanging is the penalty for murder in Belize. No one has been executed since 1985, but death sentences are still handed out, and the prisoners on death row live in constant fear that they could be next. At the moment, there are 4 men on death row.
How long have you been here?
8 years.
8 years.
8 years, yeah. It's kind of rough, but you know, I got a hold of faith.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, so you got a death sentence, is it?
Yeah. We don't want that here. We don't want no one to be hung. Everyone make a mistake, but you can all be forgiven.
And so, I mean, like you're living right next door to the gallows. I mean,
Yeah.
does that play on your mind or?
Well, at times it's play on our mind, because sometimes they bring a coffin or two to get us, you know,
Get you agitated?
frightened. Yeah, they get us frightened and things, but by the grace of God, sometimes we get irritated, yes, but we got to hold our reticence and we cannot watch that. We got to just, you know, move ahead in life and ask for forgiveness, and if they want to hang, we cannot stop it too. You know, we all make mistakes, and you know, the law say eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You know.
So, I mean, what do you miss most about?
My family.
You think, yeah, family.
Yeah, my
So you
family.
think a lot about what's on the outside.
That's priority. My family. You know.
You married, got kids.
I have 2 kids. You know, a daughter and a son. You know, but you know, we cannot, you know, dispute about it. We do a crime, we gotta face the consequence.
Given the time again, you would not make the
Same mistake. You know.
Glenville Baptist was convicted along with 2 other men for the same murder, and he is the only one of the 3 who is still alive.
2 died. 1 died here November last year, gunshot, and next one at road November 2006.
A gunshot in him?
Yeah.
I'm told an officer smuggled in the gun for an inmate to carry out the hit. The gun has never been found. It must be torture living next to the gallows, but I have to keep reminding myself of the victims. These men are convicted murderers, here to pay for their crime.
Some people say it would be a good thing, you know, that these guys are living next door to the gallows because they got to realise what, you know, the crime they've committed in a way. And the good thing about, you know, they're next to the gallows, but they're still here. You know, spare thought for the victims.
I believe that prisons should be as harsh as possible, but I didn't expect conditions to be as bad as this. And I'm still yet to visit the worst area, Supermax, where I'm told I can spend a night in a cell to get a real taste of what prison is like. It's my 3rd and last day in prison, and at the crack of dawn I head to the farm section and another death row. I can't believe it. These inmates have been let loose with knives. As convicted thief Kilroy makes the final preparation, I'm beginning to feel sick.
No, my killing days are over.
Only thing what happened when I throw the heads down.
Ah, it's cool. I mean, it's just a head.
Really?
Yeah, man, come on. I just want him to kill one first to see how far the blood's going to splat, to be honest. Oh, fuck, no. I'm never eating chicken again. Can I ask you a question? How many of these do you kill a day?
215.
No, but how much do you kill personally?
I kill all of them.
But the first time you did it, didn't it bother you?
No. None at all. I just cut off the head. No problem.
I call you Kilroy, huh?
Killer, man.
5 chickens and put it in water. Then he will just take it out and throw it up here.
You know, I honestly thought I was tough. I thought I was immune to all this because growing up in Jamaica, I used to see my grandmother kill the chicken, and it was things that, you know, as kids we used to watch, and it didn't faze us. But I suppose being away for all these years, 41 years, and seeing it now, it's kind of traumatized. I've got to say, I feel sick in my stomach. So, these chickens only for the prisoners' consumption?
Yeah. Just for the prisoners.
This is what we eat, man.
For us.
This is what we eat. Food.
I could do the other bit, but I couldn't kill it. I mean,
Why?
to pluck it and
Scared?
the fact that they're going to kill, is it 250 a day? That's a lot of murder.
As well as the shock of seeing so many chickens being executed, I'm surrounded by hardened criminals brandishing sharp knives without a guard in sight. I'm not comfortable about this. For the whole time I've been here, the radio station has been piping out religious music and sermons to a captive audience. The prison was taken over 6 years ago by the Colby Foundation on a Christian mission to convert everyone who passes through the prison gates. Inmates can sign up to an intensive 18-month Christian program where they must give up their vices and surrender to God. I've heard many here confess to some terrible crimes, and I am suspicious that the inmates just sign up to get an easier life and a chance of early parole.
Hey guys, can I join you?
So on my last day, I wanted to meet men who claim to have genuinely changed.
Me? How Jamaican you know?
Matthew McLaughlin is a serial offender who has been in the Christian rehab program before, but crashed and burned. He believes that this is his last chance of reforming his life.
Alright, what's the worst thing you've done?
I hurt people.
You did?
Yeah, I hurt a lot of people.
When you take a life, I mean, like, okay, you kill somebody, then how does that in turn feel when someone close to you gets taken?
If you get shot and you're my homeboy, I'm so used to it, we have to leave you right there. I can't stay right there. I'm going to have to give account to you. I have to go. Sorry. I even told my mother, I hope that someday I don't have to, when I was in the States, I hope that nothing happened to you because I don't know if I'm going to be able to cry if you die, you know.
So what happened to make you change your life?
I was in this program the last time when I came out. I realized that I can't do it on my own no more. Trying to do things by yourself and it doesn't work out, especially if you have a background like mine. So I had to free myself up. And the only way I can free myself is a higher power, and that's God.
Who lose? After talking to some of these men, I'm beginning to change my mind about what prison is for.
It's made a big difference to me being here because these guys are human beings. They all deserve a chance. And, you know, if they're sincere enough, why shouldn't they be given a chance?
This is the work section. The first thing that strikes me is the amount of lethal tools lying around. Out of 1,300 prisoners, there are 98 trusted workers. Many of them are here for horrific crimes, and as I hang out with men like Harvey, I'm just praying that they have been rehabilitated.
Are you a carpenter by trade, or is it something you've learned since you've been here?
No, it's something that I learned right here. This is my first conviction, you know.
Okay, first ever.
The first ever time I went to the court, and
it's a big one for your first
it's
time,
a big one, yeah. It was hard for people to just suck it in, you know.
So what do? You stabbed a guy, or you shot a guy?
Well, I chopped him with a machete more than one time.
Okay.
For a split second, I couldn't help wondering how safe I was.
Chopped him over his head, his neck, his, you know.
Okay. To kill somebody, I mean, I just thought it was something that would be on your mind. You wake up, you have nightmares about it.
No, I don't. I think the Father has forgiven me also.
You've dealt with that with God, and
yes, I believe I have dealt with it.
I mean, you know, obviously you're here for murder, so there's lots of dangerous tools, and you're working with lots of dangerous tools. How do you get to the position where they started to trust you and allow you to work with those things?
Well, you have to show yourself that you want to change, or, you know, you want to do positive things rather than quarreling and getting into trouble.
To me, he sounded very remorseful. He's moved, you know, now to being a model prisoner. He's been allowed to use dangerous tools and everything else like that. So yeah, I mean, you know, everyone can change.
Belize prison is the largest manufacturer of jewelry in the country. It's strange to see criminals working with intricate designs. Edric is a convicted rapist. He also says that he's changed.
I was a young man, you know, wild, you know, doing all the wrong stuff, all the bad things in life. And I came in prison, and it took me prison to make a change in my life. I sing what I feel and what I've been through and stuff like that, you know. So
Give me a message.
yeah, I'm gonna give you a little slight message, you know. It goes something like this. Well, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Who shall I fear? No evil one. Well, me know God made Eve. God made Adam. Eve get deceived by Satan. Later on, she turn around and temper them. Adam was damned. Assassin came from this living land. But the Lord is my light and my salvation. Who shall I fear? No evil man. Cause me know God made Eve and God made Adam.
Respect.
Check.
My outlook on prison was that prison should be a deterrent. You know, you should be living in prison as miserable as possible to make sure that you don't want to come back here. You know, having seen some of these guys and, you know, realize they're human beings. You know, they can be your brother, your mate. You know, they can be reformed, definitely. Prison's supposed to be for rehabilitation. And I do reflect on my brother when I'm in a situation like this, because he was the same as lots of these guys. You know, he was into the drugs, he was into all that kind of stuff, and it does make you realise what, you know, how things are and what could have been and, you know, and what is. So, you know, sometimes I talk to these guys, you know, about my situation because I want them to understand, you know, that I understand where they're coming from.
The conditions here are shocking. I found it hard to believe when I was told it had been even worse.
Before we took over this place back here, was like the Wild West. Everybody for themselves. In fact, you literally had some inmates sleeping on the roof of the building for safety.
You come around now when it's good.
I was here when the prison was real prison, you know.
It was dog eating dogs. Nothing to do. The devil always take on your mind. That liquor.
People got stabbed in the jail, you know what I'm saying? Their guts coming out, you know.
They moved the prison to this swampland in 1993. The cells were half built and there was no sanitation. The overcrowding was so bad that most of the prisoners had to sleep on wet floors. It was gang rule and not a day went by without a man being stabbed and wheeled out of the prison in a wheelbarrow. Then the Colby Foundation took over in 2002 and things slowly began to change. I wanted to get to know a prisoner who was locked up throughout these brutal times but lived to tell the tale. Chester Uralis had been in prison since he was 16 and is 11 years into a life sentence for killing someone during an armed robbery.
Since I've been in this jail, I see a lot of crazy shit.
So what you happened?
One time I was in my cell, and a guy was shouting out, "Officer, officer!" And I holler and tell the guy to stop making noise because I want to get some rest. I want to get some sleep. Not knowing I thought the guy was selling for the officers because somebody was killing him.
And that was a regular occurrence?
Yeah, that was something that is an everyday thing. Yeah, I used to hang with a guy who called Mark Stewart, better known as B-Dog. And I used to be dog side man in the jail.
You were his right hand man?
Yes, I used to be his right hand man. Everything he know, I know. Everything he do, I do.
Tell me what's some of the worst things you've seen.
One time I was at my cell at cell 70 max. Right? I was eating fried job and beans. I was hungry bad. Though I see a hand, like Fayaso, a hand, jump out of the cell right in front of me. And I'm eating. I'm hungry bad, you know, my belly is growing. I'm greedy. I want to eat. And when I see the hand fly from upstairs to downstairs in front of my cell, I change my mind. I don't want to eat again. I'm full. I want to smoke a cigarette now.
Somebody chopped somebody's hand off?
Yeah, B-Dog chopped a guy's hand, the 41 max. Cut off his hand, bust his throat, and juke up him several times in his body. But from then to now, I'm a total changed person.
Badness don't pay.
Badness not pay because sake of badness, I waste my whole life in jail. I could have been somebody in life already. I could have got my own house, I could have got my wife, I could have got my vehicle, I could have run my own businesses. But to left that, I come to jail and become a prisoner.
Can I ask you, do you feel that it's your fault while you're here? Or, I mean, do you hold anybody outside responsible?
It's my fault.
So you've taken total responsibility?
Total responsibility for my action. I was a bad guy, and this is what it takes for a bad person, locked up, Because many days are in my cell, and I water just come down my eye. Yeah, my body is strong, but my spirit is weak. My spirit is crying, but my body is strong.
After speaking to Chester, I now realize harsher conditions in prison don't act as a deterrent. If things were worse here, then there would be no chance of any men reforming. After the break, I finally get inside Supermax. But will I be able to spend the night?
Mosquitoes biting my nose.